Have you ever woken up suddenly, unable to move, trapped in a state between dreams and reality? Welcome to our exploration of the mysterious phenomenon known as sleep paralysis, its secrets, its effects on people's lives, and what science is uncovering about this haunting experience. You wake up. It's the middle of the night. Your room is dark, but you can see. And your eyes are open. You try to roll over, but you can't move. Your arms and legs are pinned down by some invisible force. Try to scream, but your voice is stuck, trapped somewhere in your throat. And that's when the dread hits you. It's a cold, deep fear, because you realize you're not alone. In the corner of your room, a shadow is taking shape. Up to 75% of sleep paralysis episodes involve hallucinations that feel profoundly different from what you experience in a normal dream. Researchers have basically sorted these terrifying visions into three main categories. First, there are intruder hallucinations, where people feel a threatening presence or actually see a figure in the room often, the classic shadow person. Then, there's the incubus hallucination, a horrifying feeling of pressure on the chest, like something is sitting or standing on you, making it hard to breathe. Finally, there are vestibular motor hallucinations, which can include the bizarre feeling of floating, flying, or even having an out-of-body experience where you might see yourself lying in bed from across the room. So you're mentally awake and aware of where you are, but your body is still stuck in REM mode, paralyzed. Your brain is caught in a weird, mixed state of consciousness, somewhere between being awake and dreaming. It's tall and you can't make out the details, but you know, with total certainty, that it's watching you. Since you're hovering on the edge of REM sleep, the dream world can start to bleed into your waking reality. Your brain is awake enough to know you're in your bedroom, but it's still getting dream signals. That vague shadow in the corner. That your brain trying to make sense of shapes in a dark room, while the dream-making parts of your mind are still running. People report feeling like they're about to die, believing with every fiber of their being that they are in real physical danger. The answer is yes. While there's no magic cure for sleep paralysis, understanding what triggers it and learning how to manage it can make a huge difference in how often it happens and how scary it is. Try to keep a consistent sleep schedule even on weekends. Make sure your bedroom is dark, quiet, and cool. Avoid caffeine and alcohol before bed, since they can mess with your sleep cycle. And managing stress through things like exercise, meditation, or just taking time to unwind can also make a huge difference. It isn't a spirit or a monster from another dimension, it is a creation of your own mind, a ghost in your brain's machinery, born from the strange and fascinating chaos of your sleep cycle. Sleep paralysis is a powerful reminder of just how thin the line is between the world we see when we reawake and the world we create in our dreams. It shows us how quickly our brain can build a terrifying reality. When its wires get crossed, the second you become conscious and realize you can't move, your brain's emergency response goes into overdrive, and see it for what it truly is. Not a supernatural threat, but a bizarre, and yes, frightening, glitch in our own biology. The experience is real, the terror is real, but the danger is not. So the next time you hear a story about the old hag or a shadow in the corner of the room, you'll know the truth. You'll know that the monster was never in the room. It was in the mind of the person seeing it all along. The most important thing is to remember that it's temporary and not physically harmful. Panicking only fuels the fear and makes the hallucination feel more real. Instead of trying to fight the paralysis head-on, which can make you feel even more helpless, focus your attention. Try to wiggle a single finger or toe. Sometimes that tiny movement is enough to break through the atonia and wake your body up. You can also focus on controlling your breathing making. It's slow and steady can calm the panic. Just reminding yourself this is sleep paralysis. It will be over in a minute can rob the experience of its power. If you're pulling all-nighters, dealing with jet lag, or working odd shifts, you're basically scrambling your brain's internal clock, which makes these sleep stage glitches more likely. Stress and anxiety are also major culprits, since they can disrupt your sleep and keep your brain's fear centers on high alert. Interestingly, studies have also found that you're more likely to have an episode while sleeping on your back, though the exact reason why is still being looked into. But for most people, simply understanding the science behind it is the most powerful tool you can have. When you're awake and terrified, you instinctively try to take deep, panicked breaths, but because your chest muscles are still in that relaxed REM state, it's difficult. Your brain interprets this struggle to breathe as something pressing down on you, creating the horrifying sensation of the incubus. So, the shadow demon isn't something attacking you. It's your own brain's scary but logical explanation for a deeply confusing state. This sudden jarring feeling of being helpless makes you hyper-aware. Your brain is basically screaming something is wrong. It then scans your room for a threat to explain why you're paralyzed, and in that fearful, half-dreaming state, it often creates one. The intruder. It's this mix of being awake but frozen, combined with vivid hallucinations that hit all your senses, that has burned the idea of a real-life demon into our collective psyche. The answer is hiding in your sleep cycle, specifically a stage called REM sleep, or rapid eye movement. Your brain is buzzing with activity, almost like you're awake. It's estimated that around 8% of the general population experiences sleep paralysis at some point, with much higher rates among students and people dealing with anxiety. Have you ever had sleep paralysis? What did you see or feel? Share your story in the comments. Talking about these experiences helps get rid of the stigma and fear. It shows other people that what they went through is a known phenomenon. To keep you from physically acting out those dreams, like trying to fly or fight off a monster, your brain does something amazing. It sends a signal down your spinal cord that temporarily paralyzes almost all of your voluntary muscles. This state is called atonia, and it's a perfectly normal safety feature you go through every single night. The experience feels completely real. So, the question is, what is actually going on? This isn't a dream. Your mind is wide awake, your body is a prison, and the demon in your bedroom feels very, very real. For centuries, people all over the world have told this exact same story. A story of waking up paralyzed, helpless, while a terrifying presence enters their room. They've called them ghosts, demons, and even alien abductors. But what if this experience isn't supernatural at all? What if that shadow figure is a hallucination created by your own brain? Today we pulling back the curtain on the scientific truth behind one of the most terrifying human experiences imaginable: sleep paralysis. We'll get into why it happens, why the hallucinations feel so intensely real, and what you can actually do if that shadow demon ever pays you a visit. If this has ever happened to you, the first thing to know is that you are far from alone. This experience, as personal and isolating as it feels, is a shared global phenomenon, and it's nothing new. For as long as we've had recorded history, we've had records of this waking nightmare. Ancient cultures all had a name for it. In Brazil, it was a creature with long fingernails, called the pisadera, that would stalk homes and crush the chests of sleepers. In Japan, they call it kanashibari, which is often blamed on a vengeful spirit. And in Newfoundland, it's known as the Old Hag, a menacing witch who sits on your chest, stealing your breath. From ghost stories to tales of alien abduction, the key parts are always the same. You can't move. You feel an overwhelming dread. And you're convinced a malevolent intruder is in the room with you. And these aren't just bad dreams. You really can't overstate how terrifying this is. Up to 90% of these hallucinations are linked with intense fear. And to figure out where this demon comes from, we have to look at the elegant but sometimes glitchy wiring of your own brain. REM is the stage of sleep where you have your most vivid, story-like dreams. Sleep paralysis is just a glitch in that system. It happens when your conscious mind wakes up before your brain has turned off the atonia. This is where the hallucinations come from. But why is it always so scary? It comes down to your amygdala, the brain's built-in alarm system for fear and threats. Even the crushing pressure on your chest has a biological reason. During REM sleep, your breathing naturally becomes shallower. This experience is undeniably horrifying, and a lot of people go through it in silence, afraid no one will believe them. But you are not alone. So if this demon is just a product of our own brains, does that mean we can fight it? First, let's look at the risk factors. The biggest triggers are sleep deprivation and a messy sleep schedule. So your first line of defense is good old-fashioned sleep hygiene. But what if you wake up and you're already in the middle of it? In rare, severe cases where sleep paralysis happens a lot and causes major distress, a doctor might suggest things like cognitive behavioral therapy or medications to help regulate your sleep cycle. The shadow demon in your bedroom is real, but not in the way folklore would have you believe. By understanding the science, we can drag the demon out of the shadows. If you found this video helpful and would like to see more content like this, please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and enabling notifications. Thank you for your support.